Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa and I'm going to law school this fall. I'm going to Washington University in St. Louis and I am literally counting down the days. I'm so excited. I started this channel as a way to be more transparent about all things law school, I guess all things legal really. And as a first generation law student, I thought that it would be fun to document my journey and be able to look back on it as well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my personal statement. Not only talking about it, I'm going to be reading my personal statement. These videos were so helpful to me when I was writing my personal statement to just hear what other people may have submitted or how this process really works. So I'm hoping that I can give a little bit more insight on what a personal statement actually looks like. This personal statement got me accepted into all of these schools. So I'm excited to share my personal statement with you all today. As I go through it, I'm just going to be reacting to it a little bit and giving you guys some insight as to why I wrote certain things or how I crafted them and what I was thinking when I wrote them, how I hope they conveyed whatever to the reader. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I confidently walked into my first day of engineering class, making a point not to hide my femininity. Despite being one of 2 women in the high school classroom, I knew I was just as capable as my male counterparts. My eyes were set on biomedical engineering, which merged my passion for people with my scientific curiosity. Bright-eyed and self-assured, I believed I would be my own version of Miss Katherine Johnson, one of the first African-American women to work at NASA. Despite the unimaginable odds stacked against her, Johnson became known for her ability to calculate complex orbital trajectories, which led to a U.S. victory in the space race. Like Johnson, I aimed to keep my eyes on the prize as I teetered between being undermined by my classmates and my own self-doubt. So this is my opening. I wrote this as a way to really capture the attention of the reader. I'm talking about biomedical engineering. I'm talking about, my first day at this classroom where I'm the only female. A lot of those things are just like straight into the story rather than waiting and introducing and saying, on August 14th, I decided to take engineering. I just went right into it. I think that's a good way to get people just automatically hooked and wanting to know what you're talking about. And I think it still is a good hook. So let's continue on. As the course progressed, I began to notice that many of the issues we set out to fix were systemic in nature, and thus were impossible to solve at their core. Engineering did not provide a way to largely couple innovation with systemic change and advocacy. The revelation left me unsure of myself. As both a second-generation American and a Black woman, I knew that as an engineer, I would be breaking down the barriers of what has been possible for people like me. At the same time, I saw how the intersections of my identity undoubtedly shaped the way I saw the world. So here you can see I'm starting to give the reader a little bit of insight into what I'm thinking, on how my mind is shaping and changing as I'm progressing in my engineering class. I'm letting them know that I saw engineering as a great way to change the world and help people, but because of this identity factor that I have, I also saw the gaps in engineering. So I started to have some doubts about whether I wanted to continue engineering, but I was still on the track. It wasn't until my junior year of high school that my goals pivoted completely. My mother became entangled in a civil misunderstanding with a neighbor that spiraled out of her control. Sued by a legal team of over 4 attorneys and desperate for help, but unable to afford it, my mother represented herself. For the first time in my life, I saw our broken justice system in action. My mother was ridiculed and laughed at, her words twisted and misconstrued. The judge had made up his mind on the facts and outcome of the case before my mother ever opened her mouth. He chuckled along with the plaintiff attorneys as my mother struggled to understand how the proceedings would work. My mom was even threatened with jail time and a lien of her assets for not printing out the photographic evidence stored on her iPad. I was overcome with guilt and anger watching the way my mom was treated in that courtroom. She was ultimately mandated to complete over 100 hours of community service for a case that would end up being thrown out for lack of evidence. My experience in that courtroom and thereafter forever changed how I saw my role in the world and in defending those like my mother. I'm determined to make situations like this a rare occurrence. So here's the boom, like the change of mind. Okay, I started engineering. I was doubting it, but this is the thing that made me realize I'm gonna pursue a law degree. I'm going to defend people. I'm going to make the world a better place, da 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 da. When you're writing your personal statement, I think that it's important to show where you really thought, okay, I'm going to pursue a law degree. You do not have to talk about your entire life story, but really find something that really can vouch for why you decided to go to law school. It doesn't have to be super, super, super dramatic, but just something to show the admissions readers that you actually have been thinking about this, and this is something that you are very, very passionate about pursuing. Let's continue. Since then, I have gained experiences that have helped me to solidify my purpose while simultaneously heightening my sense of urgency in pursuing a law degree. Working at the U.S. Bankruptcy Court and local law firms have shown me the growing gaps in racial and social injustice as the law shapes individual life outcomes. As a student leader, I've gained confidence in my voice and in lending it to others. In various research, I've developed critical thinking skills that will help me dig deeper. I currently work as a research analyst at a financial technology startup focused on closing the racial and generational wealth gap, which has shown me how much good can come from pushing the boundaries of what we've accepted as commonplace. So here, this is like my resume paragraph. I'm not listing one by one the things that I've done in my resume, but in a general sense, I'm saying these are the things that I've done that have shown, one, that I'm eager to pursue the law. So I'm doing things that are gonna help me get prepared. I've done things that are showing you my skills. I'm a campus leader. I talk about I've done research. These are things to let the reader know, hey, I'm really serious about this and I think I'm a great candidate for your law school. All right, let's go on. Receiving a legal education from Washington University will prepare me to push boundaries on a larger scale, becoming a better lawyer and leader. I will learn to apply the law in our ever-changing society by working with intellectually and culturally diverse, yet like-minded peers, mentors, professors, and faculty. I will be equipped with the tools to become a first-generation attorney and to reach my ultimate career goals situated in law and public policy. I'm excited for the opportunity to gain meaningful clinical experience in civil rights and appellate litigation in programs such as the Exoneration Justice Clinic. I have no doubt that a WashU education will teach me to apply the law in practical ways to solve intractable and complex issues, have a tangible impact, and highlight unseen narratives while having the wherewithal to change what I see. So this is your law school is good because X, Y, and Z sort of paragraph. I'm telling the reader, I want to go to your law school because you have this clinic. Or if I do go to your law school, I'm going to participate in this and I'm going to da 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 da. All right, let's continue on. My family is lucky that my mother's experience was not worse. However, she should have been afforded an impartial trial from the onset. Although I'm proud to play a role in closing the wealth gap in my current position, it is obvious that the old systems have kept many in cyclical poverty for generations. I no longer desire a career in biomedical engineering, but I am grateful for the invaluable lessons I learned about who I am and who I want to be. These formative experiences drive my increasing desire to pursue the law. I will use my voice, experiences, and legal education to augment the legal system to be more reflective of and sensitive to the populations it serves. All right, so that was my personal statement. I loved it. Actually, reading it back, I think that it's a good, solid personal statement. When you're writing your personal statement, just like I said before, really think of what has made you want to pursue the law, not necessarily what is my life story. And hopefully you'll get a good statement that you're excited to share and submit to law schools. So if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to answer them. Let me know any videos that you would love to see. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye.
Charlie, you're gonna afford you.